If you're thinking about making a move to central Iowa, there are a few things that I really wish people knew before making the move. Nothing good or bad, nothing salesy, just honest, practical things that, come up a lot when people relocate here. Whether you're moving for work, family, or just a different pace of life, this video should give you a much easier, more clear idea of what living in central Iowa is like. One of the biggest misconceptions is that central Iowa is just Des Moines. In reality, it's made up of a lot of different communities such as Ankeny, West Des Moines, and Johnston. The list goes on. But really, they all feel different. Even though they're about 10 to 25 minutes apart, some areas are growing more quickly than others with newer developments. Others are more established. It just depends what you're really pacing yourself for, right? Some feel more quiet, some feel more spread out. There's no single best place in Des Moines. It really just depends on your lifestyle priorities and things that you do day to day. That's something I always help people figure out before they start even looking at homes. Another thing that surprises people, when deciding to move here is the commute times. In many other cities, right, it takes a long time to get from one side to the next. In many cases across the metro and the suburbs here in our communities, you can get downtown in about 15 to 25 minutes depending on where you're at. Whether it's Grimes or Ankeny or West Des Moines, you're just minutes away, which is great, right? Because you can get down to shops, restaurants, etc. So for many people coming from larger metro areas where long commutes are normal, that flexibility opens up a lot more options choosing where to live. This is a big one. Right now, the rough estimate for median home price in central Iowa is $300,000 to $325,000. But what does that get you here in central Iowa? Well, it depends on your home, depends on the age of the home, right? It depends if it's new construction or an existing property, but some buyers are surprised by how much space they can actually get here, while others realize they want to prioritize location, schools, or lot size instead. The key is understanding your options, not chasing one specific number or style of home. Central Iowa has a big mix of new construction versus existing homes. Neither option is right or wrong, right? But new builds offer a modern touch, different layouts, lower maintenance early on. Existing homes may be more established in areas and offer different styles or lot setups. One thing is true though, existing homes will have trees, new builds won't, right? What matters most is choosing a home that fits you and how you actually live, not just what looks good online. One thing I always encourage people to think about, especially when they're moving here from out of state, is the day-to-day costs of owning a home here in central Iowa. It goes up and down in weather. It was negative 20 yesterday, then it was 50 degrees the next day. It's just crazy here. So, you have to really be on top of your utilities and understanding what that might actually cost you, and depending on the size of the home, whether that's an existing home or a new build, utilities can vary, right? Heating, cooling, and general maintenance is very important here, and keeping things up to speed is what you're going to shoot for every single year. So maintenance, maintenance on HVAC, maintenance on your lawn, your irrigation, your insulation, your roofing, things like that need to be up to par. Otherwise, you are going to see kind of a dip in some of your utility costs, right? So the goal isn't just to avoid certain homes, it's to understand what fits your lifestyle and budget long term so there's no hiccups down the road. That's why I always encourage, buyers to look at the full picture before making the jump. One last thing here, I wish people knew sooner on how valuable local insight can be. Not to push anyone any direction, right? But to explain the difference and answer questions and help buyers make the most informed decision. Every move is different. Having someone who can truly, understand the process and make it easier for that client is the utmost important, right? Moving is tough. We all know that. And it's a stressful situation. But anyway, we can kind of alleviate that, give you the most information, contact a local expert. If you're thinking about making a move to central Iowa and have questions or just want some honest guidance, feel free to reach out. No pressure. I'm always here to help out and be a resource for you guys. But I'll see you on the next video. Thanks.